So I hope you've been all having a good day. It's it's night morning here in Las Vegas, and it's afternoon in Manila. So today there's a lot of things to address, which is like the coronavirus, and a lot of things have been going on, especially here in the United States, especially with the recent news in regarding Trump, especially when he he admitted in a book that is going to be published by journalist Bob Woodward how he knew how deadly the coronavirus was, and he downplayed it by lying into the American public that oh no, it's not as dangerous, but in fact that inside he knew it was dangerous. So this shows to the fact that how he didn't take this coronavirus lightly while the world already responded. Like China had already made a fast response, in spite that Trump accuses them of a cover up, and they didn't able to handle the containment on the Wuhan lab. So Trump has been accusing, as a result of his lack of competence, that accusing the World Health Organization as playing part on the coronavirus and also helping China doing a cover up, which I do somewhat agree with the fact that like uh, the World Health Organization, led by the director who was an Ethiopian, who he himself is also a puppet of China. You can also see some videos, especially in China Uncensored, about that. I can send you the links below. So, but this is just to round with the fact that like Trump is putting blames on this sort of incidents. Now, it seems like that, as I shared, that Cuba and Vietnam led the fight on the coronavirus. You can check my previous video, which I will also send to the link below. So it seems like there is already a possible vaccine, and it's coming from this country who most Western countries hate the most, have already came up with this medicine, this interferon alpha 2 b recombinant, how this anti-cancer medicine is the possible solution to end the coronavirus, but unfortunately, it's not getting a lot of exposure to mainstream corporate-owned Western mainstream news outlets. So, which I'm also going to tackle forward on this hydroxychloroquine, which you all know that hydroxychloroquine, there's no solid evidence that it's a possible cure. These are just talks coming from people on the other side of identity politics, and of course the president himself keeps taunting this. Of course, about 2 people died taking this hydroxychloroquine, though they were not infected with malaria, but they believe this guy as like, oh, hydroxychloroquine is the possible cure, but in fact there's no solid solution to it. Then I also want to tackle on how in spite of talks about cover-ups or whatever, that you could check how during the first early months of the coronavirus, Vietnam still able to contain the Vietnamese government already prepared safety for its citizens. That's why during the past months, zero deaths with less than 300 cases back then. Now, this seems to astonish with the fact that like America, alongside with Brazil, skyrocketed its coronavirus cases and deaths because both Trump and Bolsonaro didn't take this coronavirus like it's some sort of a joke or it's like a game. So this um, last month, this famous organization called America's Frontline Doctors, based off from I think Kansas City, from a news I saw, and they're a part of this organization called the Tea Party Patriots. Well, one of the doctors, Simone Gold, was fired after solid evidences that she had no proof of a miracle cure for the coronavirus, and they keep taunting this hydroxychloroquine, which I'm also going to get to. There is the famous Nigerian trained Cameroonian doctor, Texas based clinic, Dr. Stella Immanuel. So, Dr. Stella Immanuel, last week of July, made a headlines, and her video went viral before internet platforms took her down, and she kept taunting the president's words that hydroxychloroquine is the best cure, and she bragged that she tested many patients, and she claimed that they were relieved of coronavirus because of hydroxychloroquine. But is she really telling the truth? You have to go. You have to go look into her, and she has a lot of history of telling like stupid things, which I'll also send to the link below. According to Daily Beast, she said things about like metrotypiosis. I don't know how to spell correctly, but she said it's caused by people having sex with demons and witches in their dreams. And then he said like Succubus and Incubus is caused by as a result of having a spiritual spouse, like spiritual husband and spiritual wife. And she made this she made this outrageous claim like uh there's already a vaccine that is being cooked up to prevent people from being devout religious. And and then I saw something earlier, just before I came here at home, that um, a fellow Nigerian doctor made a video how Dr. Emmanuel, we visited Nigeria sometime back in sometime like years ago, and she promoted this business she claimed she had. It is like a DSL hardware drive, and she says that it's gonna link up to all networks. But as soon as this person who got victimized by Dr. Emmanuel on this DSL, and she operated the DSL, and the DSL didn't work, and she made this, which she made a video. I will send the link below, and she said that like she got defrauded by Dr. Emmanuel. So this is also another evidences that Dr. Emmanuel is a fraud. So Trump's downplaying on the coronavirus is also making it more dangerous for the United States, because he's trying to like make prejudice over like his anti-China crusade, or bragging about like China or whatsoever. And this does lead to the fact that like um, Trump has selfish behavior for himself, in spite that almost everybody is getting sick and dying from this deadly pandemic. Now, this this group of people who really believe this leader, like a cult, are going around and attending big crowd of political rallies without any social distancing or no wearing a face mask. Like example, the famous Republican businessman Herman Cain died as a result of coronavirus infections after he attended a big crowd in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And there are more than a thousand hundreds and thousands of cases of motorbikes. I think it was like based on one of the Dakota states, but there's already more than 1,000 coronavirus cases. So as a result, the best thing I can tell you is eat more vegetables, gargle hot water with salt, warm water, not too hot, and drink hot water with ginger, and possibly eat cilantro and jalapeno. That's also good. And then one of my friends recommended me to take guacamole with lemon. And yeah, sterilize. If you don't have alcohol, sterilize with alcohol drink. It's also the same thing. So, moving on. Uh, so, do I believe this vaccine in Cuba works? Which I believe so. Because a country with one of the best doctors, one of the best nurses in the world, um, who invests a lot in healthcare. Yes, I truly believe that this could be the possible vaccine. This could be the possible cure for the coronavirus, because I've even made in the link that was sent to you below that it's mostly Cuban healthcare workers who are now mostly on the front lines across the globe fighting this pandemic. So, according to some sources, which I only heard, but I haven't found the sources yet. But if I do, I'll send the link below. They said that they tried some interferon with this patients, and most of them were able to recover fast. Which um, you might not know. You just don't know if, but it could be. So the thing is that uh, yeah, coming that mostly Cuban healthcare workers are on the front lines against the pandemic across the globe with one of the best healthcare systems in the world. Yes, I do believe that this could be the cure. So going back into yeah, so you can check out on Amazon or .com, or check your local bookstore and or eBay and find this book that is coming out about uh, Trump's interview with the famous journalist Bob Woodward about his lack of competence on the pandemic. So, uh, a famous Vietnamese YouTube blogger named Luna Oi even also made videos how Vietnam is handling the pandemic better than other countries like that of North America and European countries, which I believe so, because coming from a country that went through a tremendous amount of horrors like the Vietnam War all the way up, and when they opened to the world, they had some social welfare programs for the Vietnamese citizens, and that's something I so salute to the Vietnam for. So this will be my live stream conclusion for now, and this is pretty much my thoughts about like what's been happening during this pandemic, about Trump's lack of competence, Cuba and Vietnam's fight against the disease, and that will be all.